So you've got another book of the Old Testament for me? Yes, sir, I do. It picks up right where Genesis left off and deals with the exodus of the Jews from Egypt. Fantastic. And what's this book called? Exodus. That's the name of the thing in the story. It frickin' is, sir. Making a lot of sense so far. This is off to a great start. It sure is. And this one is going to take things to a whole new level. Oh boy, lay some action on me. Well, the Israelites have made a home in Egypt since the whole thing with Joseph, but there's a new Pharaoh in town, and he's not too happy about that. Oh, he's not? Not even a little bit. In fact, he issues an order that from now on, all Hebrew boys are to be drowned in the Nile as soon as they're born. Oh my God, he orders mass infanticide? He does. Oh, this Pharaoh is evil. Pure evil. What a great way to establish this Pharaoh as the clear antagonist. Oh, you don't even know. But the story sort of just doesn't deal with his infanticide order, and nothing ever really comes of it, so moving on. Oh, you're just dropping a major plot element as soon as you brought it up? I am. Wow. So the next big hero is this guy named Moses. And what's his deal? Well, we meet him as a 3-month-old Hebrew baby being discarded in the Nile by his mother. So she's disposing of him before Pharaoh has to do it? That's very considerate of her. No. She's trying to save him by following Pharaoh's infanticide order to the letter. No, she isn't just tossing him in. She's made a little raft for him to float on. Oh, that makes a bit more sense, but what's the plan here? There doesn't appear to be one of those. It seems very dangerous to leave a baby unattended on a raft. And isn't the Nile infested with crocodiles? Oh yeah, it is, yes. So she's sending him to certain death, either by eventual drowning when that tiny raft sinks, or by crocodile. So are you sure she isn't complying with the infanticide order? Well, it turns out we never find out about any of that because Pharaoh's daughter happens by almost immediately and she rescues little baby Moses. Oh, that is so convenient. It is, and she decides to raise this baby as her own. An Egyptian princess decides to raise some random discarded Hebrew child. She does. Why? I mean, what is her motivation here? Or Moses' mother, for that matter? Well, they're women in the Bible, sir. They're just here to move the plot forward. Listen, I'm going to need you to get all the way off my back about stuff like motivation and character. Okay, sure, let me get off that thing. Great. So what happens next? Well, Moses is raised in the Egyptian court by the Egyptian princess, daughter of the Egyptian Pharaoh. Wow, he must be very Egyptian by now. You know it. And one day he comes across a fellow Egyptian beating one of the Hebrew slaves. Oh, and I imagine Moses, being both Egyptian and the hero character, wisely intervenes to de-escalate the situation? No, he immediately murders the assailant. Oh my God. Yeah. Kills him and buries the body. That's second-degree murder. It is, inarguably. Why would he do that? Has it been established that he has some sort of impulse control issues or some sort of militant sympathy for the plight of the Hebrew slaves? Oh, is that more of that character motivation stuff you mentioned earlier? Because it feels like you're getting back up onto my back about that. Sorry, my bad. So what happens to Moses? Is he arrested? Pharaoh does hear about the murder and he wants Moses dead. So Moses flees to the land of Midian. So let me get this straight. Moses is both a murderer and a fugitive from justice? He is, yes. And he's the hero. That's right. And you don't think that Moses, being a fugitive on the run for murder, works at cross purposes to the narrative? All those words sound like that motivation thing you have such a hard-on about, sir. I'm just trying to figure out what is going on. Well, the plot needs it to happen, so that's what's going on. Fine. So in Midian, Moses helps some local shepherd girls at a watering hole. And when he meets their father, Reuel, he's immediately given Reuel's daughter, Zipporah, to be his wife, and she has his son, Gershom. Whoa, that was a lot of plot all at once. It does move briskly. So one day, Moses is tending to the flocks of his new father-in-law, Jethro. Jethro? You just said the father-in-law's name is Reuel. Believe me, it doesn't matter. I'm just having a really hard time getting a handle on this thing. Just go with it. Well, alrighty then. So Moses hears God talking to him from a burning bush. A burning bush. Yes, and it's talking. That's right. Oh, burning bushes that talk are tight. Sure, why not? And then God tells Moses to go back to Egypt to tell the Israelites that they need to tell Pharaoh to let them all go. Couldn't God just talk directly to Pharaoh and skip all the middlemen? Probably, but it's more fun this way. Well, okay then. So God lets Moses know that he has some wonders planned to convince the Egyptians to let the Israelites leave their bondage. Oh, wonders, eh? What kind of wonders are we talking about? Plagues, mostly. Oh. I thought it might be something, wonderful. Nope, it's plagues and pollution and darkness and pestilence, stuff like that. It's gonna be nuts. Wow. I know, right? But before all that, God wants Moses to warm up the Egyptians with a little magic show. Oh, fun. Oh, it will be. So God arranges the performance with Moses ahead of time. Planning is a hallmark of good showmanship. It is. And Moses' first illusion is to be the staff turning into a snake trick. A classic. Absolutely. And the second one is to be the dead skin on the hand turns healthy trick. Oh, I've heard of that one. Never seen it performed, though. This is going to be great. You know it. And the third one is to be the turning water into blood trick. Sure to be a crowd pleaser. No doubt. And so with all the tricks prearranged, Moses saddles up a donkey and he and his family all head to Egypt. Road trip! And on the way, God decides to kill Moses. Wait, what? God is going to kill Moses. Why? I don't know. God's decision is not explained in any way. Okay, well, that's it then, isn't it? I mean, there's no way Moses is going to escape death, what with the ultimate power in the universe on his case. Actually, it's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yep, Moses' wife, what? Moses' wife cuts her son's foreskin off and touches that to Moses' feet, and that calms God down right away. What the hell just happened? I have no idea. Aren't you the one who writes this crap? Truth be told, sir, I collaborate with several associates. I see. So, what genius dreamed up that last bit? Larry. Is Larry special? Why would you assume that? Sorry. He sure smokes a lot of meth, though. Oh my God. Anyway, Moses finally makes his way to Egypt and goes before Pharaoh and his court. Does Pharaoh have him arrested on the spot for the murder of that Egyptian? Oh, no. That plot line is just completely forgotten, never to be brought up again. Well, great. So Moses demands the release of the Israelites, but Pharaoh's all, no way, you're crazy. Get out of here with all that let my people go stuff. So Moses starts his magic show? Not yet. Oh, nope. Pharaoh simply dismisses him and then decides to go really hard on the Hebrew slaves. Uh-oh, so what does he do? So one of the major jobs the slaves have is brickmaking. So Pharaoh issues an order that the Hebrew people must continue to fulfill their quotas of bricks, but starting now, they won't be supplied with the required straw. But how can they make bricks without straw? Only by spending long hours of back-breaking work scavenging stubble around the countryside. Well, that sucks. It's supposed to. Hey, you know what? This would be a great time for God to display a true wonder. What do you mean? He could simply poof straw into existence all over the place. Oh. Yeah, that would be a stupendous and obvious sign of his power. A wonderful sign. But he's not going to do that. Oh, he's not? No, instead, he's just going to let his chosen people suffer terribly in their vain attempt to keep up with their impossible brick quotas. Maybe I'm just not getting this. Is God supposed to be stupid? Oh no, remember we covered this earlier. He's mysterious. Oh, okay, gotcha. So the Israelites are even more miserable than before, and they complain bitterly to Moses. So what does he do? He and his brother Aaron confront Pharaoh again and tell him again to let the people go, but again, Pharaoh won't do it. Good golly, your stories are repetitive. But now it's time for the magic show. Oh, sweet. So Moses' staff is thrown to the ground and it turns into a snake, just like God planned. I'll bet that blows the Egyptians' minds. Nope, because Pharaoh's sorcerers are able to duplicate the trick. Oh, dang it. It's okay. Moses' snake eats their snake, so there's that. Winning. So then Moses has Aaron touch the staff to the Nile, and the Nile turns to blood. Whoa, Nelly, that's got to turn Pharaoh right around. Nope, Pharaoh's sorcerers are able to duplicate the trick. Really? How can they tell who turned what water into which blood? Oh, that is completely unaddressed. So, Bronze Age magicians are basically going toe-to-toe with an omnipotent deity here? Pretty much. Wow. So, that's it for Moses' magic show. Wait, what about the dead skin on the hand turns healthy trick? What? It was the second of the 3 magic tricks that God arranged with Moses back in Midian. I mean, maybe it's the one that'll finally convince Pharaoh. Oh, that one. It's never used. Why not? Do you really expect me to have an answer for that? Because I absolutely do not. Ugh, don't worry, there's some spectacular stuff coming up soon. Oh, really? Like what? Plagues, those plagues I told you about. Oh, how wonderful. Yeah, many plagues, just so many. It's going to be exhausting. What kind of plagues are we talking about here? Well, for starters, there's frogs. Frogs? Frogs, just unbelievable quantities of frogs you don't even know. Okay. Yep, a plague of frogs hopping all over the place. Up onto people, into their homes, onto their beds. It's going to be freaking hilarious. That's crazy. So there's no way that Pharaoh's magicians could possibly reproduce something like that. Actually, they can and do. Really? How do they differentiate which frogs are summoned by whom? Unclear. Huh. So Pharaoh gets tired of all the frogs. So he tells Moses that if God will get rid of them, the Israelites will be allowed to leave to do their worship stuff. Perfect. Sounds like God knew exactly how to motivate this obstinate Pharaoh. Well, actually, Pharaoh reneges on his promise to allow the Israelites to go just as soon as Egypt is relieved of the frogs. Oh, the plague that God caused doesn't have the effect God intended? Nope. All it accomplished was to leave piles of rotting frogs all over the place. It absolutely reeks. What a wonderful thing for God to do. It was. So what's God's next move to free his people? That plague strategy was a complete failure. He's just going to go right back to the same playbook. Oh, really? Yep, just plague after plague, knowing that each time Pharaoh agrees to knuckle under, he'll renege on his promise to release the Israelites. So God knows already how pointless and ineffective these plagues will be? Oh, absolutely. Not only does he tell Moses multiple times that he knows that Pharaoh won't knuckle under, God directly mind controls Pharaoh to prevent him from capitulating. Oh, that makes so much sense and is so wise. It is. What is that you have there? What? I told you to stay out of this, Tootsie.
No.
And let Mr. Wiggles go.
No.
Oh, what is going on? Oh,
No.
nothing. Sometimes Tootsie hardens his heart against my commands. Let Mr. Wiggles go.
No.
Let Mr. Wiggles go.
No.
We talked about
No.
this. I told you. We talked about this.
No. No.
Just a second.
No.
It's been a bit of a problem.
No. No. No.
Yeah, so where were you keeping Tootsie? I'd rather not say. So how many times does God have to inflict his wonders upon the Egyptians before they finally come around? 3, 4, 10. Oh my God. Yep, after the plague of frogs, he tries a plague of lice, then a plague of flies, then a plague of livestock pestilence, then a plague of skin boils, then a plague of hail, then a plague of locusts, and penultimately a plague of extreme darkness. My goodness, how tiresome. Yeah, with God knowing and controlling the outcome every single time, it does take a while to roll through them all. Oh, I know all too well.
No.
So what finally gets through to Pharaoh? Mass murder. Oh my God. Yep, anyone who was the first child born to the parents is gonna die. Well, that's horrifying. And won't that include a lot of children? Infants even? Oh, absolutely. Didn't you establish earlier that Pharaoh is pure evil because he ordered a mass infanticide of his own? Oh yeah. Whoops. Whoopsie. Though, since it's not just infants being killed, but in fact all ages, I don't know that it can properly be called an infanticide. Oh yeah, when you think of it that way, non-age restricted mass murder does sound more benign. Yeah. So, does this affect the Israelites? No, the Jews slop lamb's blood around the doors of their homes so God will know to pass over them. Lamb's blood? Yes. What a weird visual cue. And gross. I know. And odd that an omniscient deity requires a visual cue in the first place. God needs mortal intervention to avoid killing the wrong people? It's just to avoid killing Israelites. He's pretty indiscriminate with everybody else. What do you mean? Well, not only does God kill every firstborn Egyptian, he also kills every firstborn of the Egyptian slaves and their prisoners. Oh, and livestock too. What do the Egyptians' slaves, prisoners, and livestock have to do with the Israelites' plight? Aren't they, in fact, victims of the Egyptians as well? I guess. Is this one of Larry's contributions? It's Larry's. Gotcha. So Pharaoh, finally allowed to actually exercise his own free will, tells Moses that the Israelites can leave Egypt. Ah, see? Was that so hard? Piece of cake. So God uses his mind control technique on a massive scale and makes the Egyptians favorably disposed toward the Israelites so that the Israelites can plunder them of their gold and silver as they leave town. What? God mind controls the entire Egyptian populace to be generous to the Israelites. Wait a second. If God has had that ability, why didn't he just lead with that and avoid all the death and plagues and misery? I mean, obviously, God has no issues whatsoever with undermining free will, so if he's going to do it, why not do it in a benign way? The mystery thing? Oh, right, then never mind. So, yep, that's it. The Israelites escape Egypt after 430 years of bondage. Well, what a great outcome after a ridiculously convoluted series of events. And then God hardens Pharaoh's heart yet again and compels him to send the Egyptian army after the Israelites. You have got to be kidding me. Nope. The Egyptians set off in hot pursuit of their former slaves at God's behest. Please stop. So the Egyptian army tries to follow the Israelites through the parted waters of the Red Sea, but God drowns them all. Please stop. And then Moses receives the 10 Commandments up on Mount Sinai. But not before the Israelites anger God by making a golden calf idol. Please stop. So God commands the Israelites to butcher each other until another 3,000 people are slaughtered. Oh, please stop. And then God hits the survivors with a plague. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, sorry. Are we done? Can we be done now? Sure. This is as good a spot to stop as any, I suppose. This was a lot. A lot of fun. For who? The kid in the sandbox smashing his toys together. A who? I mean God. God, of course. He loves us. Oh, he does? So very, very much. Well, if the barometer of his love correlates to the body count, he's a very loving deity indeed. Oh yeah, you know it, my man.